It seems Modern Horizons has finally pushed its way into the top 10. 3 of the 10 are from a new deck that has been making waves in Modern. Let's dive in and check them out. Number 10. Talisman of Creativity from Modern Horizons. Commander players have been waiting a while for this set to come out. A 2-cost mana rock that can produce 2 colors is great on its own, but even better in a format where Sol Ring is legal. While these mana rocks aren't breaking any decks, they're likely being bought up by the players that have been waiting years to get the cycle. I just wish these came out before I decided to take my Niv deck apart. Number 9. Haga, Arisen Acropolis from Modern Horizons. This past week, Haga has been shaking things up for graveyard archetypes. I've seen multiple lists posted to Twitter and Reddit by players trying to figure out how to best leverage this powerful card. Whiteface's MTG posted a Dredge list with it that actually didn't even include Vengevine. There's been some discussion back and forth on what should be included and whether it's any better than Bridgevine. In case you haven't seen it, here's the list Whitefaces posted on Twitter. It's more resilient against graveyard hate like Grafdigger's Cage, since Bridge from Below still functions while it's out. In addition, it is incredibly fast with consistent turn 3 wins. Surgical Extraction and Leyline of the Void are still a real threat to this deck. But so far, the feedback I've read has been that these changes are well worth it. Number 8. Talisman of Curiosity from Modern Horizons. Just like Talisman of Creativity, I think these are mostly being bought by Commander players. Mitch at the Commander's Quarters released a video last week about some of the best cards coming to Commander from Modern Horizons. He talked about the strength of these 2-cost mana rocks compared to some of our other options in the format, which may have also helped drive these sales. Number 7. Soulherder from Modern Horizons. This is going to be a favorite in white-blue Commander decks. It slots right in with any Brago deck and is both a value creature and possibly a win condition, as it will grow rapidly in Flicker-based decks. I was excited to see that this was 3 mana, because it will be a target the moment it hits the battlefield. So if you got a Sun Titan in your deck, you can play Sun Titan and bring Soulherder back to the battlefield, then potentially get 2 uses of Sun Titan's ability every turn, between its attack trigger and Soulherder flickering it. Number 6. Mobilization District from War of the Spark. This week's top 10 may be heavy in Eternal formats, but the Planeswalker loaded standard format is still driving the sales of Mobilization District. As one of you pointed out last week, Nissa's ability synergizes really well with Mobilization District. The counters placed on the land typically make it a 3-3, but when you activate Mobilization District, the base power and toughness becomes 3-3, so the counters bump it up to a 6-6 with Vigilance. Jeskai Planeswalkers and Karn decks make up the other decks running Mobilization District right now. Number 5. Altar of Dementia from Modern Horizons. Altar is another new addition to the Dredge decks we've seen lately. It fills your graveyard incredibly fast, and also provides the deck with a combo win alternative to the beatdown strategy. Haga can be cast from the graveyard, so sacrificing it to Altar is only a temporary loss, and can mill more bridges and creatures to play out of your graveyard, which can be tapped to convoke Hogak back into play. Number 4. Rebuild from Modern Horizons. This one I think is here due to speculation. Astral Drift has opened up the possibility of a modern cycling deck, and this could be the artifact removal of the deck that can replace itself when not needed. It is basically Hurkyl's Recall with cycling tacked on for 1 more mana. It is currently 13 cents, so with its potential in a new deck, and as a possible alternative to Hurkyl's Recall, it's got a lot of room to inflate in price. Number 3. Bridge from Below from Ultimate Masters. The last piece of the new Dredge decks to make it into the top 10. Bridge from Below is the centerpiece of the deck, so hitting number 3 is hardly a surprise. Putting into the graveyard is easy with Altar of Dementia on the battlefield, and in multiples, it gets out of control. Sacrificing a Gravecrawler can put up to 8 power on your battlefield with a full set in your graveyard. Then after you sack it, you can recast Gravecrawler from the graveyard and rinse and repeat until you're satisfied with the obscene number of zombie tokens littering the battlefield. Number 2. Dreadhorde Archanis from War of the Spark. Last week at Magic Fest Taipei, a white-red Featherless managed to get 3rd place. This deck tends to be considered Tier 2, so seeing how well it performed may have inspired players to order Dreadhorde Archanis and try out the new build. Dreadhorde Archanis synergizes well with Feather the Redeemed. The spells cast off Dreadhorde Arcanis' ability can be returned to your hand with Feather's ability rather than be exiled. Dreadhorde Arcanis is also capable of taking the damage from Reckless Rage, if you don't have Feather, Legionnaire, or Gideon on the battlefield yet. Number 1. Battle Screech from Modern Horizons. The reprint of Battle Screech is the first paper reprint since it was originally printed in Judgment. This brought the card to a much more affordable price for Pauper players that are on a budget. The Modern Horizons version is sitting around 40 cents right now. If you want to spring for the original art, you're going to be dishing out about $5 a piece. And that's it for this week's top 10. The new Dredge deck is probably just the beginning of the changes this set will bring to Modern. Is there a card from Modern Horizons that you're trying to break? Let me know what it is in the comments, then like and subscribe to keep up with future top 10s.